Good morning, everyone. So, today for our program Thoughts on Education, we have with us Dr. Neha Sharma, Director, SBS School. Ma'am is a senior academic leader with more than 25 years of experience in corporates and academics. She has been engaged in teaching, research, training, consultancy, research guidance, and academic management. She holds an MBA and doctoral degree in the area of services marketing. She is widely recognized as an expert in the area of turnaround management of academic institution and has a demonstrated history of introducing innovation in teaching, learning methods in institution of higher learning. She has served as the helm as director of various management institutes across India, including Indra Group of Tech Institutes, Midcon Institute of Management, Pune, NIT Nagpur. She is a recognized doctoral guide of Savitribai Phule, Pune University, and Symbiosis International University. She is a member of Advisory Committee for Ministry of Shipping for developing training programs for capacity building for manpower deployed in organization under the aegis of the ministry. She has led several She has been consultant to MIDC, Ministry of Commerce, Government of India, Hypercity, Godrej, Janvani, and other projects. She is a certified trainer for 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and the SWIN model of sales management and conducted several training programs extensively across India. She has several research papers published in her reputed journals to her credit. So, ma'am, you have such a vast experience and you have held different key positions at different education institutes throughout your professional careers. So, what are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
Thank you, Sakshi, for having me on this platform. Very good morning to all the viewers also. I am an academician, although I started my career with the industry and then I pivoted or I shifted into academics. But for the last 25 years, I have been majorly or primarily in academics. I started my journey as a full-time faculty, a lecturer, and over a period of time, I have attained a leadership position. But my passion for teaching or being with the young students and mingling with them, talking with them, knowing their thoughts, and trying to see what can be done to better their careers, to better their life, that is what keeps me deeply connected with the students and with the academics. This, along with the passionate reading habit, I read a lot. So that makes me a core academician.
So, ma'am, when you first came to SBS, what was your mission for the institute? Has it evolved over time? And how far you think that you have reached in implementing the vision that you brought to the college?
So I joined SBS at Ahmedabad, located at Ahmedabad 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago. By that time, SBS was already 9 years in its journey. It was a known name in the academic circles, an institute that stood out on many counts amongst the peer or other institutes in the region. And it was amongst the choice which students made for their higher education in management. When I came to SBS, there were 3 vectors on which I thought that I will work with the institute, which already has a very solid grounding and which is fundamentally a very strong institute. The first was to develop futuristic curriculum and teaching learning methods. So when I came to SBS, India was already at the cusp of Industry 4. We had not started entering the Industry 4, but it was at the horizon that eventually in a year or 2, we will have to move all our industries towards the practices of Industry 4. So that is the first thing that I took up, that what would be required by the students in terms of their competency set and skill set to be part of the industry for corporations. That's the first thing we did. We did extensive study and amalgamated it into the curriculum. The second vector was take the industry connect of the institute to the next level. Till then, although very well connected with the industry, our reach was generally in the region, in the Western region. And 3 years ago, we stepped up our placement and industry connect or corporate relations to develop a pan-India, and we stepped out of the boundaries of India to develop international industry connect. The third vector on which we worked as a team was development of the faculty. So if we have to bring in futuristic practices, the faculty also has to be exposed and trained. And that is what we did. All these three together have brought in immense benefit to our primary stakeholders, that is our students. And as a team of SBS, we feel very, very satisfied, infinitely satisfied when we see our students taking the results or bearing for these practices, bearing the fruits for them.
Right, ma'am. There were such great visions that even before the visions were quite futuristic, that the thing that was going to happen in a year or two, you already included that in your planning. So that was a great leadership. So how would you define your style of leadership? So what would be your style? What is your philosophy of a leader?
See, academic leader, I am an academic leader, right, because I lead an academic institution. Academic leader, to my mind, has a very unique position to hold, because we, academic leader should be able to give a vision, a direction, a path, an academic path to the organization we are leading. But at the same time, we cannot actually look away from the managerial kind of responsibilities that we have. So academic leader is a perfect amalgamation of academic exposure and managerial acumen. I find blessed that God has given me that balance, that even though I'm a core academician, I still have that administrative or managerial instinct in me to be able to lead an organization from both the angles. I would not say which is more important. Academics is the primary duty, but a good institution or a good organization can never sustain itself if the managerial capabilities in the leadership is absent. As for me, when I'm in a academician's shoe, I'm a very democratic leader, because the opinion and an open kind of atmosphere exchange between the faculty and the leader is very, very important. You cannot be autocratic there. So, right. But when I am in an administrative role, sometimes it is the top-down approach, where decisions have to be taken at the top and then they percolate down the pyramid or down the chain of command. So which role I'm performing, my leadership style depends on that.
So, right, ma'am, that is actually very important to be, with the people, how they would take you and what type of leader they demand to work. So, ma'am, talking about the leadership further, what do you think should be the institute goals in next 10 years, given this pandemic situation, given things are going more digital and everything?
So Sakshi, you rightly said that anything that we plan for next 10 years or for the future of the organization, we cannot keep these 1.5 years of pandemic out of our sight. This is an event, a one of its kind event, which comes one in a millennia and which teaches us so many lessons. I have always been saying since the day the pandemic started that this is the first time that academic institutions are facing a challenge of this magnitude and this complexity. We teach such challenges, which businesses fail to our students through case studies, simulations, discussions, etc. But this is the first time we are ourselves experiencing it. So anything that we plan, the lessons should come out from this pandemic. The way it has taught us that academics can also be agile. We can change. We can pivot from something that we have been following for years together, decades together, to an absolutely new philosophy and new way of operation. In a matter of days, we can change it. So that agility for any academicians in future should be a part of our playbook. The second thing is that it is not always just the physical infrastructure that should define our learning boundaries. Pandemic very quickly taught us how we can harness the resources which are available anywhere in the world for the benefit of our students. It has actually helped us in looking beyond the institute, beyond the physical resources of the institute. That should be the next part of our playbook. Get resources, deploy them for the students from wherever it can be harnessed. The third thing is, it is possible if we are working on a mutually beneficial area. It is possible to have a very close interaction and a very close relationship with the industry. In fact, if you have a meaningful thing to be given back to the industry, they are very forthcoming in helping you at the academic level. It is just that we have to separate the fluff and ask them for things that are beneficial to them also. So futuristic or future of management education or good management education can only be with very close connect with the industry. The last part, but a very important part, is that even when we are doing business of any kind, the capacity of a person to empathize and sympathize with the other human being and their suffering should always remain. So we have to teach this deep lesson to our youngsters who will form the next generation, that at no point, however important it might be for the profits of the organization, never lose the humane touch. That also pandemic has taught us. People have fallen sick, others have come up to take up their role so that organization doesn't suffer and the person who is suffering does not lose the job. We shouldn't let these lessons go in vain. They all should form a part of our next 10 years of learning.
Right, ma'am. That's actually very positive. And as we are talking about this themes on positive, so moving to more about institute specific, what would you say that the best practices are in the courses that you are offering at SBS?
It's a multidisciplinary college. Although we are a standalone business management institute, we are not niche, only focusing on certain type of courses. So we have the traditional specialization like HR, finance, and marketing, but they are backed up with more industry-oriented specialization like supply chain management, operations, communication, international business, and also entrepreneurship. This is one unique thing, that under the same roof, as per your aptitude, the competency and aptitude test that every student who joins SBS appears for, they can choose a specialization as per their inherent intrinsic liking. While we have different specialization, a very unique thing at SBS is that all courses are interconnected through some kind of courses which are there in every specialization. So if you have supply chain management, it may be blockchain in finance, and it may be HR operations in HR, and it may be supply chain or delivery in marketing, but they are all linked together. So that interdisciplinary learning benefit comes to the students. As I said, that 3 years ago, we started immersing our courses with some requirements that would arise in the future. So data analytics and decision science is one thing which is immersed across all the courses in SBS. Industry 4 requirements are immersed throughout all the courses. And the last immersion that we have done is about 2 months old, where lessons of pandemic are part of the curriculum which is going to be taught in the next semester to the students.
That's really great, ma'am. And I hope that would really be helping students, whatever specialization they choose, that is digital, something that is there to exist, and they would really help out students. So, ma'am, as we move towards to the end of the interview because of the time constraints, what would you like to say to the youth, current students and aspiring students who would want to do an MBA? Your message to them.
My message to the youth is that management is a profession. And like any other profession, it requires a lot of dedication. So when you are entering the profession, when you are entering a business school, please be prepared to work hard. Don't shy away from working hard. You have trained faculty. You have experienced industry people to hold you, to guide you. But ultimately, working hard has to come from within. In army or in military, they say, the more you bleed in peace, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. The same thing holds true for a management professional also. The more you sweat out during your college days, when you are completing your projects, your assignments, your tests, the peer learning, more you sweat out there, the less the challenges that you face in the industry seem hard or difficult to handle. So during your 2-year stay, make the most out of it. Read a lot. When I say read a lot, it is not limited just to the screen that you are holding in your hand. The reading material is available from a newspaper to a magazine to a journal to a book. Please glance through everything. You will find things of your interest which will stay back with you. When the CEOs of Fortune 500 company were interviewed, a common answer or a common thread that ran through their answer was that they could reach this height because they did not leave reading. They continued reading newer things throughout their career. I also encourage the students to do that. Third thing that they should do is they should leave all their apprehensions, fears behind, and think that a new phase of their life is starting, and learn as much with open mind and new attitude, a positive attitude, when they come to an institute like Shanti Business School, the SBS.
Right, and that was really a great advice. I hope students here follow that and achieve whatever they want to achieve, irrelevant of whatever big that is in their lives. Thank you, ma'am. It was a delight listening to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sakshi. Thank you, Collegedunia. Thanks a lot.